Lean Warrior Lifestyle. How's everyone doing on a Friday evening? I just wanted to come live here, just see how's everyone doing. Um, yeah, guys, it's been a bit of a great week in terms of my Project 70. I've hit a milestone actually, and I'm going to begin before I kind of get into the title of the video about Elon Musk and SpaceX and how it limiting beliefs and stuff like that. I just wanted to kind of update everyone with my Project 70. If you're new to the channel, guys, don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with my journey. Currently, I'm on a little bit of a short-term 12-week challenge, just for motivation, really. And I've hit the first kind of big milestone, really, which I'm going to kind of go in terms of my limiting beliefs section towards the end. But this is the kind of the goal that I've hit so far. I don't know if it's probably back to front on the camera, but I'm 21 pounds lighter now on my Project 70, and I've got 49 to go, and it's just about every pound, 1 pound at a time. But for me, getting 21 was a big thing, kind of going in with limiting belief. I had it in my mind that I had to get to that stone and a half, and once I did get to the stone and a half, that I would then be able to get to the rest of the way, because in my mind I was thinking to myself, if I can get to that, if I can get to this milestone, I'm pretty sure I can then carry on and getting to the rest. Which sometimes you might think it sounds a bit crazy, but it's just about limiting beliefs and we have in our minds and stuff like that. And what I wanted to kind of as probably you've seen over the last couple of days with Elon and his SpaceX sending a car into space. For a lot of people, many people didn't think that was probably possible, or didn't even think that it was something that could be done, or maybe if anyone wanted to do that. But Elon is a man who came up with an idea probably, and he's very that's the way he is. He keeps going after failure after failure. This at the beginning of SpaceX, there was a lot of troubles and stuff like that. Launches that failed, and he could have easily said that this isn't going to happen. He poured a lot of his money into the project, and but he kept going. And I'm sure there's people who are going to kind of come in your life whereby they're going to have limiting beliefs, that either yourself and stuff. I think there was a comment there. Right, here we go. Do you believe that humans will progress or regress? I think that's a very interesting question. I think only limits are the ones we place on ourselves, and I'm a big fan of the late Bruce Lee, and he used to talk about not having any kind of not putting limits on yourself, because as soon as you kind of put limits and stuff like that, you kind of then think and this is what I like to go back to, limiting beliefs. There was a time whereby people used to believe that no one was able to run a mile under 4 minutes. And that was a belief that was held by many people around the world, that humans were not able to progress past that kind of stage, that no one would be that fast. And along came Sir Roger Bannister, who was the first person to run under 4 minutes. And what was quite interesting is that that was a huge achievement in itself. But in the next couple of months, the record was then broken again and again and again. And now we see, a lot of people breaking the records continuously. But it had to take Roger Bannister, the first person to actually accomplish that, to kind of maybe think to other people that, maybe this belief that we had, the limiting belief that running a mile in 4 minutes, running a mile faster under 4 minutes is possible. And that's what I think is kind of, the beliefs in itself. A lot of the times we have our own limiting beliefs. We think to ourselves, we're not clever enough. We don't have the skills to go for that promotion in a job. We may think, just stuff like that. But the only way that a lot of this time, sometimes it's not based in reality. It's our own projections and our own fears. And the only way we can really test them is to actually do that in itself, just to test them, to kind of feel the fear and do it anyway, and just just overcome it, really. But when I saw that and stuff like that, it kind of really made me think that, there was a lot of limiting beliefs that I used to have about my weight loss in the past as well, believing that, I could never lose weight, thinking to myself that I'm lazy and stuff like that. And the only way that I've been able to overcome those limiting beliefs is by just trying to just put in that work and the action. And even it may be small steps and it may not seem huge to other people, but being able to walk around the block uh, longer than where you have before, that then kind of breaks that kind of pattern that you had in your mind, thinking that you couldn't achieve something like this before. And what is the limit? We can dream big and stuff like that. And humans are, we have the ability to use our imagination. And you can think amazing and incredible things. People like Elon Musk is kind of imagining this kind of world where is able to, like, send rockets and stuff like that. And think about going into space. And for a lot of people, they might not think that's possible, but he's putting it out there and he's really saying, look, this is what I want to achieve, this is my vision. And I think that's quite important as well when it comes to weight loss, is having that vision and having that belief in yourself. And self-belief is very important as well. I read a great book a couple of months ago. Psycho-Cybernetics is really, really good book. It's about this, like, going into the psychology of self-belief. And it's about basically that you can, if you think that you can't do something, most chances are that that's what's going to happen. But if you think that you can, then you'll kind of move in the direction that it can eventually become possible. So it's just, a lot of great things. I do think I'm going to probably try to do a book review on that as well for you guys. But whatever your limiting beliefs are, test them. Do they actually, can you maybe do something that kind of overcomes that? So for instance, if you have a limiting belief that you don't like exercise, maybe you can then look at doing other things that can incorporate, that get you moving. If you have a limiting belief that you don't like vegetables, is there some vegetables that you've not eaten, or is there any other ways that you can incorporate getting your whatever they say, 5 a day. So I think that there is great potential for anyone to progress, as long as they have the belief in themselves and have their goal, have their why and their vision, and just keep going, because sometimes the limits are the ones we place on ourselves. And sometimes our best, we can be our worst enemies as well. And we can tell ourselves the greatest lies to kind of keep us from progressing. Sometimes it's a psychology kind of thing. We're trying to protect ourselves. Sometimes it's just trying to figure out, trying to overcome past relationships and traumas and stuff like that. It can be very difficult. And I think when we get to the point where the pain is too much, and that's when you kind of realize that you've got two options really. You can either be where you are and stay where you are, or you can accept that, what, I can't make any changes to anything that's happened in the past, but what I can do is draw the line here today, right now. Let go of all my limiting beliefs. They're not serving me, they're not helping me get to where I want to be. Draw that line and then just work every day going forward after that. And working on yourself, making the improvements, and just getting to where you want to go. I think that's the best any of us can do. I've been reading something called The Rhythm of Life, and it says that in life, the best goal we can have is to become the best version of ourselves. Now that is best. What is the best version? It's the version that you feel that is going to get you to where you want to be. The best version is what I mean. I want to just put it out there. What is the best version for you? In your terms, and maybe what are some of the limiting beliefs that I've been holding you back. Um, I used to have a limiting belief that, you know, it's quite difficult for me to be on camera and talk to the camera like I am at the moment, because I used to think to myself that, I wasn't good enough to be able to do this. But the more I did it, the more I do it, I'm beginning to enjoy a lot more. And I think there's a nice quote: everything's hard in the beginning until it becomes easy. And that's why I think is, a really important thing to kind of think about, is that anything you do, I mean, going back, to, maybe when you try to learn how to write, or, well, I mean, I guess probably most of us can't remember that, but let's say when you probably try to learn how to speak a new language, or play an instrument, or learn a new skill, at the beginning, anything is hard, it's difficult, it's new, but you don't give up, because if it's something that interests you, just imagine as babies, if we first time we fell and we thought to ourselves, you know what, this is too hard, I'm not even going to bother again, I'm just going to sit here and I'm not even going to bother getting up and trying to walk. But if you look at babies, they have this kind of never give up attitude. They're going to keep trying to get up and fall, and they keep getting up and they're falling down. And I like to always talk about Rocky, and there's a quote, at the end, it's not about, life's going to hit you. It's not about how many times you get hit, but it's about how many times you get hit and keep moving forward. And, it's about falling down and getting back up. There's also, I love my comics and stuff like that. And I think it's in The Dark Knight or one of the movies. Alfred says, why do we fall? The reason we fall is so that we can get back up and rise. And I think that kind of brings that in itself answers a lot. Life's gonna hit you, and me doing this 12 weeks and stuff like that, life's thrown a lot of curveballs, and expecting that everything's going to be, expect that everything's going to go well is kind of delusional, because it's not going to go well. There's going to be things that are going to happen that are out of your control, but at the end of the day, it all comes back to the fact that you have the power to choose how to respond to that situation. And there's another really great book, The Man's Search for Meaning, by Viktor Frankl, who was a Holocaust survivor, and he studied the fellow prisoners, and he came to the conclusion that it's all about, you can have the worst things happen to you, but it's how you respond to that situation. You still have that power to choose, and it's how we interpret certain situations that can kind of get you to where you want to be. And this is all a progress for me. It's all a process for me of learning about myself. Every day, I learn new things. Some things that, sometimes you learn good things, sometimes you learn bad things. Sometimes you kind of like realize, things about yourself that maybe that you kind of were not wanting to kind of believe, or you maybe were in denial about in the past. And that's about, becoming the best version of yourself. Is about trying to look at where you were in the past and saying that, you know what, that didn't work so well. What can I do now going forward that can get me to where I want to be? And that's what it's all about, guys. We're going to have always limiting beliefs in our minds. Society is going to put it on you. You have to ask yourself, what matters to you? What do you want out of life? What's important to you? Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Yeah, trying to get where you want to be in your life, putting in the effort, and living your dreams, really. But I just wanted to kind of come on here and just say, big milestone for my Project 70. I got another, nearing the end of my 4th week of my 12-week challenge. Just putting the work, really, every day, just trying to get myself to where I want to be. it's good days and bad days, but that's part of the package. You can't complain because that's life. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched this on the live stream. Any comments, let me know down below. If you have, maybe what are some of the limiting beliefs that you have overcome yourself, and I'll look forward to chatting with you soon. Probably do more walking again, and some reviews as well. All the best, everyone. Take care.